Okay? Okay, so most of you...
Who are you?
What?
Who are you?
Well, I was just about to say. Most of you know me, but those that don't, I'm Sinai's first cousin. His father and my mother were siblings. The interesting thing is that Sinai, since he lived in California and I grew up in New York, we never even met until I was 17. We knew obviously about each other, but we never met. And how did we meet? I was in Israel first summer. He was in Israel at Tel Aviv University. We happened to meet at a mutual cousin. Neither one knew the other one was there. I had heard about him all my life, and I walked into the house, and there was Sinai. And from that day, he was the best thing that ever happened to me. When I moved to California, and we were only 9 months apart in age, so when I moved to California, he was going to Cal State LA. All his friends became my friends. I hung out with him. We did everything together. Any hard time I had here, he was always there for me, for everything. Then he started to go a different way. Actually, when my son was born, which is almost 35 years ago, he was the sandek at my son's breast. He had just started to be from. He just brought so much, even that day, I can still remember, he brought so much into it. And every time we got together, it's like, I can't even explain. Sinai was just like Sinai. He was, as you've said, deep, deep in his faith, very deep in Yiddishkeit, very true to it, very observant, didn't stray, but he was like a regular guy. And that was a big deal because a lot of people are afraid to approach a person because they're intimidated by it. They think like, oh, he must be so holy, I can't talk to him. He's going to think I'm nothing or something like that. And Sinai was the opposite. You could ask him any question. You could ask him anything from the most ridiculous to the most serious to the most intimate to anything you want. He always had no problem discussing anything with everybody. It was just pretty amazing to me. He also, in the long run of it, ended up, because of the fact that my son's father had died, he ended up taking my son to the chuppah with me. So he filled in everything for my son after his father died, everything. He became like his father. And by that point, my son was already from, so it was even more so, because if my son had any questions, anything, Sinai would always be there. And my son, again, didn't have to feel intimidated, didn't have to feel like, oh, I'm asking the Rav. He just asked in Sinai, and it was perfect. Now, when Sinai moved to Arad, he became, I always forget the name of it, but there is an institute in Arad that I guess deals with people finding out about their Judaism. Not necessarily a Frum Institute. I forget the name, something with a W. Wudges. Thank you, Wudges. He became a host family for Wudges, and every single Shabbos they had people from Wudges at his house. I was at his house in Arad twice. Every time you were at Sinai's house, whether for just normal stuff or just for Shabbos, always had tons of people there. Always. It was like, and he always said to me, I have no idea how we're going to feed everybody this Shabbos. He said, I'm telling you now, I just don't know. And then he would turn around afterward and he'd say, always works out. Always works out. I don't know. Hashem gives it to us the last second. He said, and I never worry about it. Somehow it's always there. That's all there is. I mean, he was just amazing that way. I was telling somebody at the Levaya, they sent pictures and they told me the type of people that were at the Levaya was such a testament. From Ger Hasidim, who he actually had a problem with in Arad for a while, but even from the Ger Hasidim to Bedouin Sheikh, and everything in between that you can imagine. goyim that he knew in Arad that came to his house to show him respect for the fact that they had strong connections to Judaism, even though they weren't Jewish. For everybody, it was just amazing. And his brother David wrote to me that he had never seen anything like it. He met people he would have never expected. That amount of connection to that different type of people. And like Shlomi said, he accepted everybody, didn't care. Black, green, yellow, he never cared about it. He made everybody fit into his world, and they all felt comfortable with it. They all loved it. Nobody ever said, oh, I don't want to go there, that's going to be weird. He just made a way to make sure that each one felt like it's okay to be here. And the respect I have for that is amazing. It really is amazing. I have been in many from homes. I've been in many people's house for Shabbos. His house was just like you're in your own house. Didn't matter who you were. Just something amazing. He and I built something over the years. I spoke to him probably at least once every week. I really honestly can't tell you the void that's in my life because of it. Especially just the same feeling. If I have a halacha question and I feel like, I don't know if I want to ask this person, they're going to think I'm weird, they're going to think, oh, how come you don't know that already, or whatever it is. So, Sinai, and we talked forever. We even loved to reminisce about when we weren't from. And, what food do you miss? And what food do you miss? And I mean, just simple nonsense stuff that I guess two cousins can talk about. Now I will tell all of you, his son Eli is Sinai personified. He is exactly like Sinai, looks like him, talks like him, walks like him, has the same exact character, the same, he's just Sinai. And it's pretty amazing because you can go to him the same way. But nothing's going to be able to take his place, and it really was extremely shocking. And I still am having quite a hard time because it's hard to come up with a substitute who's going to fill that void. Just won't happen. I have pictures up here. I want any of you to take whatever you want. I specifically made a copy of this one. The picture on this side is him at 9 days old. And the picture here is in the hospital the day before he was nifter. His children and he thought it would be very funny to braid his beard. They thought that was just a riot. And he liked it also, so he made them take pictures. Now, actually, this picture is the profile picture for all of his kids on Facebook, is this one, because they love it so much. So anyway, if any of you want this, there's pictures here. There's a picture of him and his son, Eli. There's a picture of him and his family from last summer. I think it might have been when Eli graduated from boot camp from the Army, and a few other pictures. This is at the bris of his latest grandson. So if anybody wants to take any, you're more than welcome to. Anyway, that's all I really have to say, just how much I miss him, how much my son misses him, and how much he affected our lives.